Welcome to the new portion of the show, as I like to call Before and After. Today's Before and After is going to be about one person. I think all you know who I got most of my Sonic fan, rants on, and that is Blackbustercritic. I know that sounds a little similar to Blockbuster, because that's where he used to work at. Blackbustercritic is an old-timer YouTuber. Well, not too old. Well, he started the year before, known as Blackbustercritic. So he started, I believe, around 2008. Around 2008, during that time. And during that time of 2008, we had the 5-star thing on YouTube. Those of you who remember that, thank you. But with that being said, Blackbustercritic is someone I mostly got most of my ideas from, and most of my other rants from. But today I'm going to talk about how he started and where he is right now. Now, here's a couple things I want to mention. Blackbustercritic was so old-time YouTuber. When I mean old-time, I mean back saying the F slur was necessary. Back saying the word retarded was offensive, but most people used it anyways back at those times. But now, loosely today, most people might find that a little offensive today.
The word retarded is not belong in school! Who's the school newspaper person? Because where they are, we'll bust their freaking legs!
But yeah, all I can say is some of the words we use, borderline 2006 till now, well, some words we can't say today. But he said them anyways back at those times. But with that being said, this guy mostly was known for his job at Blockbuster. Now, those of you who probably might be sitting in your chairs saying, "What is Blockbuster?" Well, if those of you who miss physical media, Blockbuster was the key place for physical media. When you think of physical media, you think Blockbuster. When you think physical media, you think Blockbuster in general. So this was during the times where we had late fees, returning movies back to where you rent them. And yeah, I mean, you can still do it at a library, but one thing is certain, for streaming, well, we all know for the real reason why Blockbuster is not around, because of, you guessed right, streaming. Streaming was literally the best thing that is now, is it the best thing right now? You make that decision, or you leave a comment on your decision on that. But with that being said, Blackbustercritic made a series of guidelines to be a customer. What is guidelines to be a customer? Well, it's guidelines to use, well, how can I say this? Common sense! Now, common sense is literally the best thing you need to know to go into a store. And just not just using not just knowledge. Oh, using your eyes. That's what, Blackbustercritic has said before when he started on YouTube. Most people don't even use their eyes. They use their, knowledge. Which, those who work at stores or any type of shopping place, that you get stressed out when you have to tell people simple things like, "Excuse me, where's the bathroom?" It's right there. "Excuse me, where can I get eggs?" It's right there. "Excuse me, where can I get a tissue?" Right there. I know for most of you who work at stores or any shopping place, you just get frustrated just telling people where you can find certain things when you have obvious signs of where they can get the things, obviously. But either way, Blackbustercritic, his guidelines is to be a customer. Yeah, he dealt with a lot of really a lot of dummy customers. I mean, don't worry. I mean, when I used to work at AMC, I used to deal with a lot of customers who were pretty much dumb. But I'll save that for another time. But with Blackbustercritic's guidelines to be a customers, there were several episodes he made. Actually, there were a bundle of episodes he made. Also mentioning the whole thing about this is my favorite episodes. I'm going to talk about my favorite episodes of his guidelines to be a customer series, and that is the famous story that he told us about the guy who had had the stupid indecency of putting his DVD in. Are you ready for this? I hope you're ready for this. Putting his DVD in a VCR. I know. Heck, I'm not the one who told the story. So this guy comes in with his VCR player, or VHS player if you want to call it that. He comes in and he's like, boom! Everybody says, whoa, 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 what's going on? What's going on? He's like, you guys owe me a new VCR player. I'm like, what the heck? Why is that, sir? I put your DVD in my VCR and it broke it. And they're like, what? Your DVD broke my VCR, so you owe me a new one. And these person would just laugh their freaking butt cheeks off. Like, really? You're blaming us for you're blaming them for your mistake? But anyways, you know, he charged him for the damaged DVD in the VCR. And, you know, made a total, the guy just made a total dumbass out of himself. But heck, I mean, who knows? Maybe he bought a new VCR on eBay or Amazon or whatever. But either way, let's just move on. My favorite story would have to be the one when he mentions kids. I mean, the lady who brought this kid who was puking all over the place. Like, I mean, those of you seen The Exorcist, or those you saw the first Ghostbusters movie, someone blows their nose, you want to keep a sample of it? But either way, yeah. They had to mop the freaking carpet. Like, oh my god! You had to mop the carpet? My god! But yeah, let me go to my most favorite one. And I think this one is actually my most favorite episode. And that is the questions that you should never ask. My favorite one would be, hi, hello, honey, what was the name of that movie? It's Drag Me to Hell, honey. You know, ask me when the next showing is. Yes, when's your next showing for Drag Me to Hell? Next showing to Drag Me to Hell. Wow. Of course, Blackbustercritic was like, ma'am, you are not calling the Cinemark. You are calling Blockbuster. And of course, the lady didn't get it. But she's like, okay, so you're sold out. So are you going to open another showing if you're sold out? Of course, he hears her husband talking to him like, they're all sold out? Who'd you call? I called Blockbuster. Blockbuster? Honey, that's not a movie theater. Hang up the phone. You're embarrassing yourself. Of course, I'll mention one last one. And this one is a definitely epic fail. And that is... Are you ready? Alright, here's the story. So he explains that a lady bought a PSP. Those of you old school, well, sort of old school, video game fans are like, oh, a PSP. So yeah, she bought a PSP for her son. And you know what she did? It wasn't the actual PSP thing cartridge you're supposed to put it into it. It's the disc that she put in to the actual PSP, and I mean an actual disc, the one that's like this size, into something that's this size, into the PSP. And she's like, well, we just can't seem to find out how to fit it in the PSP. So is there a way we can get it to fit in the PSP? This is where I get to say FAIL. Don't you know what that means? Ass, idiot, loony. Yeah, of course. But either way, those were the guides to the customer videos. But now on to what you really came for. And Blackbustercritic did a lot of, well, a lot of people on DeviantArt, and you know DeviantArt. You guys have been on DeviantArt before. You've seen the sexy and super hentai stuff that they do on DeviantArt. I mean, I've been on DeviantArt too. I don't have an account with them, but I've seen some of their work on DeviantArt, and yeah, it gets... I swear, do you people on DeviantArt have a thing for dicks? I don't care. Never mind. But either way, but not only that, Blackbustercritic also talked about, and that is the Sonic fans. I can't use that word I used to say before. You know, when I describe the Sonic fans as in Sonic, well, F-slur, you know, people. But I can't say that word anymore. I can't say it. I'm not going to say it right here. I'm not going to say it ever again. But I will tell you, some of the Sonic fans that Blackbustercritic has talked about, he once was known as King Master Review, but he now has a different channel. Well, different name for his channel. King Master Review, you know, response that he did. Alex Henrio, Sonic Passion. For those of you who don't know, Sonic Passion is a site where people talk about their sexual feelings on their site. Of course, the site isn't around anymore. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But for one thing, Sonic Passion, people do talk about some really disgusting things. And Alex Henrio, well, she was the queen, the Sonic queen of, you know, wanting to do such indescribably creepy shit to Sonic the Hedgehog. Anyways, but either way, you know, Sonic Passion was taken down. Alex Henrio, as I heard right now, she's sober. A little bit sober. I mean, of course, I'm not going to go into details, but yes, I do agree with Blackbustercritic that she was one hot Sonic fan. Yeah. But there was also other Sonic fans like Michael Dragon, Guptail89, the rapper who made Sonic into a frickin' religion. You know, and of course, our most famous Sonic fan, and the one you see me talk about the most, the one you have heard me talk about the most, is Spax3. Okay, I'm just kidding. You never talked about Spax3. But you knew who I was going to mention, Chris Chan. Or Christine Chandler. Or who gives a damn? Christine, Christina, Christine, Chrissy. Who gives a damn? But either way, yes. The Chris Chan video he did do, but he was supposed to do a part 2 of that. But unfortunately, well, I'll get to that pretty soon. So, during the time of just doing several other videos on several other people, he was also one person that debated a certain other person, and let's see if I don't get flagged for bringing this person up, and that is Life in a Tent. Now, of course, he had a debate with Life in a Tent, and of course, Blackbustercritic, well, trashed his ass. So, not just him, but Blackbuster Critic, along with his girlfriend, and, Blackbuster Critic seemed to be untouchable during those times. And it's also mentioning another person who I'm going to mention on his current channel also. So, after defeating Life in the 10 and every Sonic fan who tries to respond back to him or anybody who tries to debate him, of course he cooked them all and was successful. Until it came to, I believe, either, was it 2013 or 2011 that this happened, that he was going to get a actual real job. Of course, his job at Blockbuster, of course, they fired him. They fired him all because, he was trying to change the company in a way of certain things, but I will mention his other channel pretty soon, but what I will mention is that, the guy used to get robbed at that Blockbuster. Caught some people who were stealing in the store. Now, just to let you all people who work at convenience stores or any shopping center you work at, just to let you know, if you see someone wearing a heavy ass jacket in the middle of the summer when it's like 90 something degrees out or whatever weather it is, that's your big sign of red flag. They're trying to steal some stuff. But either way, he record them. Well, actually, no. The rewarding thing in the video, one of his workers, one of the people who he used to work with, actually put him in a headlock. Now, of course, I've been put in a headlock a few times, but this guy, you do not want to be put in a headlock with. It was a big, strong, muscly white guy. Yeah? Put him in a headlock and was like, alright, stop fighting me. Stop fighting me! Stop fighting me! Alright, and this guy had these two guys tamed. Of course, the police came, and of course, another person with their group was also arrested. So either way, he also mentioned another story that he mentioned, and that is, a guy behind the bandana mask and hoodie had a shotgun. Of course, they didn't see it was an actual real gun. They thought it was someone from the other part of their shopping center who was just playing a prank on them, and they were like, "Get out of here! Get the hell out of here!" Then he was like, "Get!" And they're like, "Oh, the weapon I see is real." Okay. So either way, they got the recording. So they didn't feel. Now, most of you feel like we work at certain places, you will feel intimidated. But for these people, they didn't feel intimidated. For Blackbuster Critic, he didn't feel intimidated. He was like, "Well, this is just another Friday for me," or whatever. But either way, of course, the cop who came to that store was like, "You guys sure you got robbed? This is a pretty cheery atmosphere after a robbery." And like, yeah, the guy just looked like he didn't want to do what he was doing. So it's like, oh well, whatever. Now, of course, like I said, they fired him. They fired Blackbuster Critic during the time, and obviously there was no desire coming back to that place because, Blockbuster is history. Except the one last Blockbuster that's here in the United States, except you have to travel a few dozens of miles to get to the last living Blockbuster. But either way, during the time of, like I said, during the time of 2013 or 11, Blackbuster Critic's channel was gone. He had another channel that he had temporarily, but that was gone also. So his main channel, the Blackbuster Critic, the Blackbuster show. And one thing about Blackbustercritic, that his earlier channel, he didn't really swear that much. I mean, he did say the F slur, you know, he did say, you know, I mean, he didn't say damn or hell or, I mean, he may have said ass, but, you know, but yeah, I mean, he may have said the word suck a few times. But all I can just tell you is, like, you know, he didn't swear, like, highly. Like, he didn't say damn, shit, and that much. But, he, I mean, on his channel that he has now, currently, he does swear. I mean, he does swear, he does say some F-bombs. Oh god, it's getting hot in here. But yeah, Blackbustercritic wound up being, you know, still back. But, you know, there were certain things he didn't do the Sonic fan video. So some of this, so he never did his part 2 of Christian. But he did talk about why Blockbuster failed. And this is one thing I really want to rant about, and it's really super important. Did I say something? Blockbuster. If someone reports sexual harassment, should you try telling me if I was to report sexual harassment and, okay, the person who caused the sexual harassment gets fired, but the person who reported sexual harassment gets fired. What the hell is that? So I'm reporting sexual harassment happening, and since I reported it, I get fired when I'm not the one who caused it? What the hell kind of shit is that? And of course, he made a video on how Sonic fans were bursting about Sonic, the Lost World during the time. So yeah, either it was 2011. Yeah, he has his channel removed. But either way, you know. But also, I would mention the one video that I kept telling you guys. Maybe he might have a point, and maybe he does have a point. And that is to all you Sonic fans who didn't want to listen to Blackbustercritic about Chris Chan or anybody he's mentioned on his channel or any videos. We're going to take you to Paul and Amy. That's this guy who's like, I first when I saw it, I'm pissed off. We don't know why. People are having a go at us, having a go at them. But we're happy. Get into your thick fucking skulls. So yeah, Paul and Amy, that guy from that video who said, you know, he's sick of people making fun of him for loving Amy Rose. Amy Rose? Anyways, so Paul and Amy, or Paul Rose as he's now called, guess what? He got busted for sexually assaulting, or I can't say, can I say the word? For, well, yeah, I guess I can say it. Sexually assaulting 3-year-old girls. Orphan girls. Now, of course, you might be saying, wow, that's messed up. It is messed up. And let me read the verse say, those you Sonic fans who just did not like what Blackbustercritic was saying about how some Sonic fans take their passion too far. Now, going back on Sonic Passion, we're talking about people who said they want to marry Sonic characters. Are you serious? You want to marry a Sonic character? Oh, gee. Oh, gee. Not to sound like a, you know, harsh adult, which I kind of sound like, you didn't know Sonic characters are not real! freaking real, dummy! So of course you got denied. Anyways, but now I'm just trying to tell you guys, now you see why someone like Blackbustercritic was saying about Chris Chan and several other people that they're gonna let their fantasies get so out of whack that they're gonna end up in these messed up, effed up situations. But no, you're like, no, it's not gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. Denial. That's denial. Listen, I love Sonic the Hedgehog too, but I don't wanna sexually assault a freaking furry. Now, no, I'm not gonna judge the furries, obviously, but there are other Sonic characters I have other affections for. Well, gee, I can tell you it's not Amy, sure as hell not Rouge, and sure as hell not Sally Acorns. Know who the real Sonic female characters I have an affection for? Oh, gee, the human Sonic characters. Well, let me rephrase that. The female human Sonic characters. Of course, I'm talking about Elise. Of course, I'm talking about, I guess Sarah does technically count, even though technically she's a cat girl / human. But yeah, she's in human form anyway. So, and also Topaz, yeah. But either way, yeah. Blackbustercritic did mention Sonic fanbase and how they let their fantasies get so out of whack that they just forget about what's real and what's not real. Yeah, he was saying that. But no. Some fans were like, oh, he's talking shit. He's full of shit. And then you hear about Chris Chan, Paul Roach. Anyways, so at the meantime, Blackbustercritic, he hasn't made a video in quite some time. Actually, it's been quite a while since I've heard a video from him. But on his channel right now, he still has his channel. His old channel has been brought back, but not by him, by somebody else on YouTube. So yeah, you can see all his past stuff on that he said about, other things. Of course, it's the same as me and him. We both talked about Dragon Ball Evolution and Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. But, Blackbustercritic has also reviewed other movies in his past, videos. But enough of me calling him Blackbustercritic. His name is Gemin. So I know you guys are probably hearing this from me. And I know you're probably saying, well, did you get a lot of your references from him? Well, yeah, I had. But, I always found it funny how someone on the internet, I don't know, I hear stuff all the time, but yeah, someone thought me, yours truly, Alex the Vertical Spy, would dream on crossing over with him in his videos or my videos or whatever. I don't know. It was some thing that was going on. Now if I do meet Blackbustercritic, I'm not gonna bother him if he's one of those people that's that's approachable. I'll approach him. But, I have nothing but respect for Blackbustercritic, or Gemin, as his, name is. But all I can just tell you is I have the most up respect for Blackbustercritic. If he ever makes a video, I'll watch it. But one thing is certain about him, to now, he's a father now. He is a father, he has a son. I'm not going to say his name, but he calls him Blackbustercritic Jr., But either way, I'm happy for where he is right now. Does he have a better job? Yeah. Does he have a better life? Yeah. Has he avoided the whole YouTube drama since then? Yes. So with that being said, guys, this is my first episode of Before and After. So with that being said, don't worry. Another important person I'm going to mention pretty soon is our dear beloved Chris Stuckman. I will do that video pretty soon, not right at the moment. When I have the chance, I will make that video pretty soon. I'll make another episode of that. But with that being said, I said a mouthful. I need to get some food, get something to drink, and I gotta edit this video. So with that being said, Vertical Spy, outro.
Yo, Steve Bloom here, voice of Spike Spiegel. Remember to subscribe and get vertical.